Okay, she's basically the same model, but in different pose. Yeah, different scenario. So what is the problem with this? Okay, I need us to mention her. I believe she's even more famous than the previous girl. This is probably 10 years ago, Shutterstock girl, everywhere girl, right? So here's the problem, okay? Stock library is fast, it's cheaper, it's more efficient because we don't need to go out and shoot, we don't need to coordinate, logistically, casting talents. It's easier for clients, easier for agency to a certain extent. Then we see less and less custom photography. Okay, so it's cheap, it's fast, it's easier. And here's the problem. So just now you see that Getty image girl, right? She appears in different banks' advertisement and visual communications. So that is a big problem because it diluted the brand recall. When you see this ad from far, let's say if you're running an OOH, you see it from far. Is it a Standard Chartered Bank ad? Or is it a HSBC ad? Or is it a Citibank ad? So this creates a big problem for the creative industry and for marketing. Okay. So this is the old way when we search on Getty Images or any stock library. Okay, I call it the search and make do. Why make do? Because basically we are searching for the perfect image within a given timeline and within a budget. Okay, that is our limitations. So within that period, we have to make do with the best option that we have. It might not hit all the spots that we are looking for. Okay, so here I give you an example. Asian businesswoman in the long wavy blonde hair, working on her laptop in a cafe with maroon color interior. So this is a very extensive and clear brief to get the image. Okay, so what do we get? We get this. In fact, we get 95,310 options to choose from. But just look at the first 5 options here. Asian businesswoman, yes, check. Working on laptop, yes, check. Long wavy blonde hair, no. Cafe with maroon color interior, no. I mean she's wearing a maroon shirt, yes. Yeah. I mean it's a simple brief. Do you agree? There are only four points to check. But in the first page of result, it is already missing so many points. So here comes the new way. Okay. In generative AI, we are defining what we want and prompt to what we want. So this should be the new way. You define your visions and you prompt to achieve what you are looking for. So same prompt here that I put into the search bar of Getty Images, I put it into Midjourney. So this is what I get. Okay, I understand that on the left hand side there are 2 wrong results, but Midjourney gave me 4 results here, comparing to the 93,000 result from Getty Images. So out of these 4 results, 2 of them check all the points on the right. Asian businesswoman, working on laptop, long wavy blonde hair, cafe with maroon color interior. So that's the vision we set. And with generative AI, it is able to help us to achieve what we want, like almost 100%. Okay, the 50% here is a mistake, but out of it, yeah, I think we pretty much could choose from just 2 of this to run with. So here, comparison. So these are I scroll further down on Getty Images. There are a few more images that Getty gave me. You can see it sort of like going more far off from what we are looking for. Yeah. So this is it. So this is what you see here are all generated by generative AI. We prompt to our visions. We define our visions and engineer the generative AI platform to achieve what we need to achieve at the end of the day. On brand, in terms of colors, in terms of context, in terms of the visual communication that you're looking for. So here, okay, sorry, I need to use myself. I know, I look too handsome in this compared to real life. Yeah. So what I'm trying to prove here is character consistency, which AI could also achieve, meaning you will get stronger brand recall. we no longer need to rely on get images or Shutterstock for that same model that every brands or competitors are fighting for. We can design a character just for our brand. Okay, in every communication you do, you use that model. Yeah, he can be a successful entrepreneur, taking first class, business class, giving TED talk, travelers, yeah, going around the world. So that is the power of generative AI now. And okay, flexibility. So we have the character created. We can also make the character travel the world, right? So that gives you scalability. Okay, and with the same framework, let's say if you were to launch in different markets, you can design your character that is resonating in that particular market. Let's say AirWallex want to run a campaign in India. We can use Indian as the context. Yeah, we don't need to give in to the limitation of stock images, stock library anymore. So here, a timeline. Back then we have portrait painting. Then we have camera being launched to the world. For photography, kill portrait painting. And then stock library sort of kill photography. And now we have generative AI that is gonna take over stock library. Okay, I missed out one tools here, which is CGI. CGI can also achieve very realistic, look and feel. But as you know, the time, the cost is even, way more than photography sometimes. Okay, so beyond static, this is also what you can achieve on generative AI now. Animated video, realistic looking, speaking human. Okay, I don't need to cover the cost. I believe most of you will know, how much it is to purchase an image in, Getty versus, subscribing to all these generative platform. So I guess this will be a most important question. What about the rights? Yeah. So it's covered. So on Midjourney, actually most of the platform, you can use the generated image for commercial usage. However, of course, you don't generate Taylor Swift or Donald Trump on Midjourney and say that, hey, you say I got the right. But that's the human part of things, right? We have to control that as well. However, most of the generative AI platform, we can use them for commercial use. If you're worried, of course, there are also certain platforms like Get Images. They also provide this indemnify options, which means if you use the generated AI image, they still protect you from any rights issues. Okay, lastly, AI without human insight is just noise. This is something that I preach a lot. When it comes to generative AI, it always has to be human-led. You don't let AI, lead you. Yes, it's easy to prompt. You get the 4 options. You don't like it, you prompt again. You get another 4 options, 5 options. You choose the best one. That is being driven by AI. You should start with a human way. Define your concept, define your visions, then you go to the prompt engineering. Okay. I just covered that. So now I'm going to go to do a quick demo on Midjourney to show you. So in this live demo, I'm going to cover the process of defining the task and defining the context, and then evaluate the result and iterate from there. So here I pre-created the character. I won't go through that again. So basically, I briefed Midjourney to create this. For those who don't know, Midjourney now has a web-based interface already. It is no longer on Discord. Yeah, so it's an even more intuitive interface for you to leverage on. Okay, so now let's say we want to create a character for a particular brand or product. So I briefed it already, a frontal portrait of an Asian female in her early 30s. She has a long wavy hair, solopreneur, digital nomad. She wears a modern inner maroon shirt with a light beige blazer. Okay, I like this one. Yeah, she's more international looking, so I'm going to save it. Sorry, why are you laughing? Do you think she look believable? Yes? Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna upload her. Let me see. Okay, as a reference. Give me a minute. Okay, so now we can, oops, sorry. Okay, now we are going to prompting. So on the prompting, of course, there are many ways you can do prompt. I believe if you are into generative AI, you also heard about JSON, JSON. So it's a way of very structured prompting method. However, on Midjourney, it doesn't support JSON. Yeah. If you have JSON format, you do need to use, like, let's say ChatGPT to convert it into like a more normal language to prompt the platform. Okay. Now, how about let's make her work in CBD? Okay. Let's just do a very natural language here, not even going into like specific lighting or photography terms. Okay, let's see. Okay, while we wait for the result, let me change the aspect ratio as well. So in Midjourney platform is quite flexible. You can do 16 by 9, like vertical. You can even do like landscape. So yeah, so it depends on what you need. You can define it. By defining the ratio, actually it affects the result as well. Because if you put 16 by 9 or even like 2 by 1, you go towards more cinematic look and feel. I'm going to do the same thing. It's taking a little bit of time. Sorry, it's taking a little bit of time. Okay, just a quick question. How many of you have been using Midjourney in the room? Okay, what about ChatGPT in terms of image generation? In terms of visual generation, ChatGPT. Okay, Nano Banana? Okay, I believe there's a lot of Nano Banana fans here. Okay, so the reason why I'm showing you Midjourney today, because in compared to this large language model turns visual generative AI, is that Midjourney actually is more artsy and more creative. Yeah, but because of this, sometimes the result might be off a little bit on the fingers in compared to, let's say, Nano Banana and ChatGPT. So what we normally do, we will build a stack, we'll conceptualize our visuals on Midjourney before we bring it over to, let's say, Nano Banana, yeah, to scale up. When I say scale up, meaning like I can generate variations out of the initial image. I think the server is not working well today. Let me just refresh. It's coming. Okay, continue the topic just now on conceptualizing in Mid-Journey and bringing it over to Nano Banana or ChatGPT. The reason behind this workflow, right, is also that ChatGPT couldn't control character consistency that well. Yeah. However, because the visual is really nice, like let's say if you have a visual being defined in Mid-Journey already, when you bring it over to Nano Banana, you can basically change the angle. You can actually change the shot. I want a wide shot of this scene. I want a close-up shot of this scene. I need this girl to be holding a cup of coffee. Yeah, that Nano Banana do quite well. But if you were to prompt the same way you prompt Nano Banana in Mid-Journey, you might get disappointed result. Okay, almost there. Okay, there you have it. So first image, I think the character consistency is quite well. So here I didn't define CBD, right? So when it comes to this CBD, you can of course also specify I want it in Singapore CBD, Hong Kong CBD, Harbourfront, yeah, or Victoria Harbour, and so yeah. Although the accuracy might be off a little bit, but at least in the blur out bouquet in the back, you can tell that hey, this looks like Hong Kong. Yeah. Now we are doing a generic result here. What do you think? Do you think this could be used for your marketing purpose? I just want to get an idea, right? Like, how many of you think this is usable? Yeah. Okay, another note to take. For my Mid-Journey, I actually train my profile, personalize my profile to a certain level so that it could generate certain type of like look and feel for me. Yeah. So if you wonder, like if you go back today, you try Mid-Journey, you cannot achieve result like this, you can look into personalize tab on the left and you create your own personalizations. So you just need to select through a series of images and make that particular profile, very specified into certain style. Yeah, then you can achieve a result like this. So here again, this is the airport lounge, working on her laptop with her luggage next to her. Okay, there you go.